I wanted to shoot a quick video describing a powerful meditation technique that is more than just calming your mind and creating tranquility, but actually helping you solve problems in your life, harnessing your own creative intuition. And that is simply contemplation. Now, what is contemplation? Contemplation is the act of posing a question to yourself, posing some sort of object, concept, and idea to yourself, and through the same mechanisms of meditation that are interconnected with your mind, producing ideas, creative results, creative visions that allow you to have a better and clear perspective on the question at hand. Now, what kind of questions can you ask yourself? So, when I say creative intuition, I mean clearing out all distractions, not doing anything, not trying to think about stuff, just allowing your mind to do its job. I started doing this because of Leo Gura from actualize.org and Peter Ralston. And you can look up Peter Ralston and Leo Gura on YouTube. With this practice, the way it works is the same as meditation in some very similar senses, but at the same time, there is a little bit different in the practice itself. When you sit down, find yourself a yoga mat, find yourself a chair, find yourself your bed, anywhere that you can sit comfortably, and for at least 25 to 30 minutes, I will honestly say 30, because with this, it takes your mind to come up with a lot of different ideas and you want to see what resonates with you the most. I'd say 30 minutes. Block out 30 minutes, especially if it's a question that is very much prominent in your life right now and you want to get it solved and you want to really have clarity with it. For example, if you don't really know what you want out of life right now, you can ask yourself, what do I want out of life? And that's something you can use as an experiment for this type of meditation. So sit down, commit to yourself 30 minutes. I'm going to sit with this question and contemplate it. And we're going to use what I want out of life as an example. So sit down and ask yourself, what do I want out of life? The thing with meditation, for example, with mindfulness of breathing, is that we rest our attention on the breath. The coolness of the in-breath and the warmth of the out-breath. We can warm up with getting acquainted with the body, where we are presently right now, and eventually how it feels to sit here, how our breathing feels with our chest, and then eventually the nostrils. And resting with that, and you could find tranquility arises from that. In that sense, we're putting our attention on the breath. In this difference, we are putting our attention on the question. Mentally, how it feels to asking the question, what do I want out of life? You can, when I ask questions like that, I can feel energy in my forehead and something like that. There's a physical component when you're seeking for a question. Now, do not try to come up with an answer. Just rest your attention on that question. It feels like you're looking at a hole in the ground where an animal is going to come pop its head out. But you're not trying to go for the actual animal in the hole. You're just resting your attention on that hole itself. So rest it there. And there might be times when, say, your mind's very jittery, you're very anxious, and you're very agitated, and you're thinking about a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of things going on. Use the first 5 to 15 minutes or so. Just rest the mind. Relax the body and the mind through breathing through your belly very slowly. Just relax, find any tension, and just rest the mind. And so the mind clears up this way. And so then every time you continuously keep bringing your attention back to the question, what do I want out of life? You will start to notice thoughts come up related to that question, and they feel like genuine answers. For example, for me, when I have done this, I have felt and noticed thoughts regarding things I wanted out of life, and they really felt like stuff I wanted out of life. Because, like when you know what you like, something that you really like and something that excites you, it feels exciting, it feels happy, it feels like emotionally connected to that. And it feels like it's a genuine answer from your mind to that question. So I'll give an example. This is not an actual thought that I had, but say like I wanted to be a fighter fighter. I really felt like that. I imagine myself like putting out fires, being in a burning building and like hosing down the fires, doing whatever firemen do. And like after a while, you'll notice a thought like that, and you'll notice, oh, that is an answer to the question that I posed that I'm putting my attention on, and it feels like your attention is on that. Like it feels like that is a result of you putting your attention towards that because you're setting your mind to it. Like when like it's in like a very specific example of when people say set your mind to your goals that you want to accomplish. It's a literal like manifestation of that physically and physiologically. I don't really know the right word to describe it, but that's what I'm saying. So you see it come up and arise, and it's like, oh wow, that's that's an answer to the question. So you have like a field uh, experience. You have some sort of object, some sort of thing that came out of the pressure cooker, something that came out of the ocean, something that came out of the whirlwind, something that actually came out of the machine. You can think of your mind as like a machine. You feed it an input and there comes an output. You put the input is you putting your attention to the question. You're posing the question, you put in the machine, and what fuels the machine is your attention going towards the question itself. And you're giving it fuel, and then eventually out comes some sort of answer. Now, what I would recommend is that you don't get too excited about the answer. You may get excited. I've gotten excited. But because it's good to have these things be long meditations or contemplations, whatever you want to call it. I call it a contemplation, but it is a meditation. Keep it in the back of your mind. Visit at the end of the meditation and keep putting your attention towards the question. And you'll find that even more stuff comes up. It might be related to the thoughts that you got previously, or it might be something even different. And it might be pose not exactly straight answers to the question, but new dimensions to the question. Like, say if there's like a fear that you have regarding getting what you want out of life, that might come up. And that's an answer in and of itself. Say like you might be afraid of success, you might be afraid of failure, you might be afraid of being seen and vulnerable, anything. You might notice that, and then that's another thought, that's another output from the machine that is your mind, the wonderful, powerful machine. And so just continue to rest your attention on that, and then things keep popping up and up and up and up, and then say the 30 minutes is done, or go longer, I recommend. Take out a journal, go on your computer, laptop, go on Notion, Google Docs, whatever the hell you use, and write down what is like the most like concrete, interesting things that feel helpful in your search of answering this question. And sometimes it might be hard to put into words, maybe just like some vague visions, but do your best to put it out there as a means to train your intelligence and train your ability to make sense of whatever insights come to you, whatever new discoveries mentally you come up with. And from there, you can apply that in your daily life. You can think about how that applies to the things that you're doing, what changes you have to make, what things you have to stay the same, or just simply how does this affect you? It really depends on the question itself, because there is not any sort of one question, one type fits all question. There's so many questions you can ask, philosophical questions. What is the meaning of life? What is good? What is evil? What is religion? What is this keyboard? What is a notebook? Why am I in school? Why am I going to college? Should I go to college? What decision should I make between two decisions? This one, that one, contemplate each one. It really depends. Find what works for you, but ultimately stick to the mechanism, the training, the practice of resting your attention on the object. And this helps if you've done mindfulness of breathing, but you can still do this regardless. Rest your attention on the energy of asking the question. Not trying to get the question answered, but on the the feeding of the question, on the posing itself, on the question itself, like the energy of it, the energy of like, what is that? And just allowing it to come up. And if you notice you're seeking, you're trying to get it, you notice it's very tense, you realize you're not getting anywhere, relax the body and mind through your breathing. It is an anchor and it can relax you. This is not even a mumbo jumbo stuff. If you relax your body and mind, your heart rate will go down. You relax the cortisol in your body, in your bloodstream, and then you relax. And with that, you can find the answers and they allow to arise for you. I highly recommend doing this because it's an example of direct experience, knowing ourselves very well, and that allows us to know the world as best as we possibly can. So I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got value out of this. With great power and great responsibility always, Joe.